Magazine podcasts. TLC, Infinite Wealth Mastery with Evelyn Okpanachi.
Welcome to another episode of Infinite Wealth Mastery. So today, I'm interviewing Victoria Salami, who has a background as a senior management legal professional. Not only that, she's an award-winning entrepreneur. She has a multidisciplinary background in consultancy, law, business, and IT. She is the founder of VHOOLINK, which serves as an advocate for tourism in Africa. She is also the founder of Victoria Salami, an award-winning UK-based luxury brand. Welcome to another week of Infinite Wealth Mastery. I'm here today with Victoria Salami, and today is such an exciting podcast because I'm interviewing an amazing woman who not only is an award-winning entrepreneur, but also you are twofold. So you are a lawyer and you are also a fashion designer, as well as an ambassador for tourism in Africa. So for me, this is really exciting and I'd really love to hear your story. So welcome, Victoria Salami, to Infinite Wealth Mastery. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
As I like to say, it's such a pleasure to be able to be involved in this. So as you've said, I'm Victoria Salami. I am an award-winning entrepreneur, the founder of an international organisation called VHOOLINK, first of all. VHOOLINK, if I'll just make a very quick introduction, is a platform that has been designed to strengthen the Made in Africa brand. And the whole point of doing that is in order to foster tourism in Africa. The second brand that I own is called Victoria Salami. It's a fashion brand, and we specialize in creating affordable luxury handbags. Not just that, these handbags have an influence on the person who wears it, in that we say each design is being inspired by positive statements.
That's awesome. And I would like to say I actually do have a Victoria Salami bag, which you're not lying. It's absolutely gorgeous. I have one in white and I only carry it to my important meetings. It's absolutely lovely, exquisite and definitely luxury. So Victoria, can I ask you, what inspires you to become an entrepreneur?
Well, that's a real big question, and I'm sure that there's loads of answers that I can give. I suspect that one of the most important reasons why I decided to become an entrepreneur is because I've always wanted to have more control over my time. I am a legal professional, I am a lawyer. And so I'm used to the 9 to 6 ways of obviously working in the United Kingdom. After working for over 11 years as a prosecutor, it dawned on me that, time moves very, very quickly, moves very, very fast. And I realized that I wasn't spending as much time as I wanted to with my loved ones. Being an entrepreneur gives me more control over the time that I think is very valuable. It's one of the most valuable gifts we own. So for me, it's being able to control my time and spend that time with the people that I feel matter to me the most.
That's amazing. That's one of the reasons I became an entrepreneur too. So that's amazing. Thank you. So any major event that led to your decision to become an entrepreneur?
I would say that I've always wanted to be a person who makes a stamp on society in a positive way. I'm a British Nigerian, as you know, and so I've always felt that in whatever you do, it's very important that you contribute to society, or else what's the point of you being here? What's the point of your business? If it's not going to elevate and edify people, then what is the point? I feel that as humans, it's very important that we leave a positive impression, a positive mark or stamp in society wherever we are.
Definitely, I totally agree with that. So do you feel with VHOOLINK and Victoria Salami that you are making that impact and impression?
Yes, most definitely. I'll start with VHOOLINK. Obviously, it's two different businesses. So VHOOLINK is the business that we use to foster tourism in Africa. In Africa, and I would say the West African region in particular, there is over-reliance on fossil fuels. And as we know that fossil fuels are very finite resources of energy, and so therefore a finite resource of strengthening the economy. So what we've tried to do is to work with African governments and to get them to be encouraged to boost the tourism sector. So I feel that obviously there's a need there that we're working on, and we're pushing that forward. In respect of Victoria Lamb, most definitely a lot of people have said that they like the ideals behind our brand. They like the fact that when they buy a bag, it's not just, them paying cash for it. It makes them think a little bit more about what they're buying and what it's saying. For example, we have a very successful handbag design called the Lavini, and that emanates from the idea that anyone can be a leader. It's not just called Lavini. The shape of the bag, it comes from a symbol that says anyone can be a leader. And so therefore it's inspirational. The fact that people are buying the bag and liking the design means that we are making a difference, and that's what matters.
I really like that. And that's really empowering for women. So you're walking along with that bag and you're feeling, I'm a leader. I can do anything. That's great. I love that. You already told me that you were a Crown prosecutor.
That's correct.
For many years, and a practicing lawyer. And you've already explained to us what your businesses do. How did you come up with the idea for your business?
Well, to be honest, I came up with the idea for VHOOLINK over a period of time when I was traveling to Africa. I realized that the tourism sector was neglected, not only in Nigeria, but in Africa as a whole. And so because of that, I was inspired to get into a business that would help to develop the tourism sector in West Africa. In respect of Victoria Lamb, which is the handbag brand, I was inspired by the fact that I felt, why is it that women buy so many bags and they're really expensive and it doesn't reflect on their personality? It doesn't say anything about them. It says more about the brand. And that's when we came up with the idea of, okay, let's create a handbag brand where people could consciously think about, oh, the design of this bag means something, and I want to be associated with the ideal. And so that's generally where the inspiration for both of my businesses have come from.
No, that's awesome. So I love the idea about tourism, and I love the inspiration around the bags as well. So the character of the wearer, that's really lovely. Can I ask, you probably explained this as well, but what problems do you hope to sell through your businesses? So we have VHOOLINK. What are we hoping to solve? What problem are we solving?
It's quite interesting because with tourism, a lot of people think that, okay, traveling, tourists, that is tourism. Tourism is a lot more than that. Tourism itself is a driver for bringing businesses into a country, causing people to network more, bringing an influx of people into a country for trade. Not just that, what VHOOLINK specializes in respect of dealing with small to medium-sized businesses, is that we try to get them to raise their standards. And that's for products and services, because what we are trying to do is to cultivate a higher standard of products and services in Africa. Because we believe when we do this, this will serve as a driver for entrepreneurship and also encourage an influx of tourists into these countries, where they will more than likely be happy to do businesses with, to do business with these businesses.
That's great. So who do you partner with for VHOOLINK?
So we're proud to say that, we're honoured to say, I would say, that we have currently partnered with the United Nations World Tourism Organization, which is fantastic for us. As you know, the UN has its tourism sector, and they focus on tourism globally. And the fact that they have decided to work with us gives validation to our business, so that anyone who does deal with us, especially in respect of these governments, they know that we've been, signed off and given that, validation by the United Nations. And the way that we work with them very quickly is they refer businesses to us that need help in various key areas that we specialize in. And so the fact that we're working with them is amazing, because we get to see what impact tourism is currently having, and also what the current problems are, so that we can target that and find solutions to the problems with tourism in Africa.
That's awesome. And that gives you a lot of leverage as well, doesn't it? So that's really great. About Victoria Lamb, what problems? I know it's a fashion label, but what problems do you feel you're solving?
You would be really surprised. You would really be surprised that a lot of our clients that buy our handbags say they love the fact that our brand is not a commercialized, diluted brand. There are handbag brands out there that are everywhere. So people like the fact that, one, it's affordable luxury, so it's not too expensive to be bought. But more importantly, it's not commercialized. It's not a brand that you would see everywhere. So it's not diluted. So, yes, it is a handbag brand that is providing bags of high quality, but it's also affordable so that people can buy it comfortably and they can inspire through the positive messages in the bag.
I like that. And I also like the statement that you mentioned before about supporting conscious consumerism. That's amazing because we're thinking deep within. So it's not just about fashion. It's more about that. So that's really great. What is the best thing about your job?
Wow, I would say...
So you've got multiple businesses, multiple roles within that business.
Yes,
what's the best thing
most definitely. I think waking up every morning and knowing that I'm doing something that I'm passionate about is one of the best feelings in the world.
Definitely.
And I think it's a feeling that you appreciate more where you have been employed in the past for years. The difference between waking up in the morning and going to a job that you have to go to because you know that you need to earn money, as opposed to being an entrepreneur and having a business that you're passionate about. It's one of the best feelings.
Definitely. Passion is the key, really. Okay, so, and what's the most challenging?
I would say, because I love what I do, I need to get better in making time for me. I find that, yes, I make time to spend with my loved ones and people that I care about. But because obviously it's a business, it's like my baby, I'm very happy to sit down and literally work until early hours of the morning. So I think I need to be a little bit more disciplined with my time and remember, yes, this is my baby. Yes, this is a business that we're driving, but it's also important that I make time for me because that's where all the positivity comes from. That's where it starts. And I believe that if you look after yourself, then you look after your business just as well.
So it's that balance, isn't it? So you're looking at more of that balance.
Yes.
And that sometimes can be very challenging as well.
Of course.
But it's important. Make sure you take time for you. Your most satisfying moment in business?
Would be twofold. With VHOOLINK, I would say after about 6 months of co-founding the business, it's amazing that the UNWTO were interested in partnering with us. The UN, as you know, is such a big international organization. And so that gave us a lot of leverage and it also validated us, which was fantastic for VHOOLINK. So that's one of the best moments for VHOOLINK, I would say, getting that, I would say, recognition and validation from a top established organization.
That's awesome.
Secondly, in respect of Victoria Lamb, it would have to be the fact that we were invited to do the BAFTAs. So that for me has always been amazing. We were cherry picked by the BAFTAs, which is the equivalent of the Oscars in the UK, to be the official handbag for one of the award ceremony. And it was just off the back that they had been doing some research into UK handbags. And they literally cherry-picked us. We didn't contact anyone there and they decided they wanted our handbag to be the pin-up for the award ceremony. So that was a very, very fantastic period for Victoria Lamb.
That's awesome. And I do remember seeing that bag as well. So well done you. Okay, so help us. So best piece of advice for someone starting up, because you are an experienced entrepreneur. And there are many people that I believe could learn from you. So what advice would you give?
I'm sure that everyone who is an entrepreneur is familiar with the words of be persistent and be consistent. That is true. And we're also familiar with the words that we shouldn't quit. But there is one word that I'd like to bring in, and I feel like all entrepreneurs need to be alive to this. And that's the fact that we need to be honest with ourselves. We need to be honest with ourselves in terms of, okay, is this going to work? Is this not going to work? I think honesty is very important. And I feel that everything that you do starts with you. So, for example, if you need a break to go out and then come back in and reflect on decisions, be honest with yourself that you need to take that time out to do that. I feel sometimes people run with the motive that I need to be consistent, I need to be persistent, and you just keep going like a train that's not stopping, or like a car that's just being driven without gas. So we need to stop and be honest with ourselves when we need to top up, when we need gas, and to then make the right decisions. But that's one of the most important advice that I would give it to entrepreneurs.
Thank you. That's very powerful because, as you said, once you refill, you can come back more creative, can't you?
Yes,
and refresh. My last question, it's been really great. How do you define wealth?
So that's very interesting. How do I define wealth? In a way, some people might attribute wealth to being successful, but wealth and success are two different things. So wealth can mean, okay, just having money. For me, I would say that wealth is not the turnover of a business. It's more that good feeling that you have inside. Being happy at the end of the day that whatever you've done for the day is the best that you can do. Yes, wealth can mean meeting your goals, but after you've met your goals, are you happy with the results? So I feel like, if you meet your goals and you're happy and you're content, for me, in your heart, and I think it's an individual thing. I don't think there is one generic definition for wealth. I think it's unique based on each individual. If you've set a goal for yourself, if you are your biggest competition, and for me, once you have met that, then you are wealthy. And that's a standard that is very unique to you.
That is awesome. I love that. I love the fact that wealth is unique to you. So it's not a banner. It's unique to each individual. So it's how their perception of wealth is. And that determines how wealthy you are. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Victoria Salami. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Sovereign Magazine.